Hey there, right now we are, I believe it's a private road. Went in to get to Troy's Conservatory, I think. That's what it's called, Mayor's Conservatory. It's a part of a trip to Bainbridge, and well, Troy's Conservatory is not in Bainbridge precisely. It's in Paulsville, but kind of same area. Just getting here. I'm not really sure where we are going. It's a butt crack of nowhere. But yeah, we're pretty excited to finally getting here somewhere.
For this, or have you already been doing stuff?
We went to Faye Bainbridge.
Oh,
That's actually where she is from.
Oh, really?
Originally,
Huh.
yeah. So I was rather surprised. You know, I think long time ago, I was helping Olympic Orchids.
Yeah.
So you should know Ellen,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was helping her. So I knew the laboratory is here.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think it one time came up on the Google search, and it's like, this is where my wife grew up.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Ellen's coming to get flats tomorrow.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, say hello to
I
her.
will.
Yeah, I've been super.
So we should, I guess, just go into the lab. Unless you want to visit the greenhouse first, I don't know.
Oh, whichever.
Let's do the lab.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me over here.
Sure.
This is so exciting.
So this is where all the flasking and
Oh,
stuff
wow.
gets done.
Uh-huh.
And let me go ahead and shut the door. Just
Okay.
keep the bugs out. And that's our laminar flow hood, where that's where we sow the seed, and we also do the transfers between flasks.
Oh, wow.
We made that homemade 20 some years ago.
20 years ago. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is so exciting. So those are, what is it called? Start with A, right?
What things?
The
Little jars. Yeah, those are mother flasks of agar. And
that's
have,
what.
Depending on the letter, that just gives us a clue as to what recipe is in them, because we sowed seeds on different things depending on.
Oh, really? So what's the difference between?
Well, some of them, I mean, it's just different nutrient concentrations and different sugars. Also, some of them have coconut water in them.
Coconut water.
Yeah.
Huh. So what would you put in, like?
Well, most of the epiphytes go on this clear stuff.
Okay.
And the reason it's clear is that it doesn't have any charcoal, because in general they germinate really quickly. The charcoal is kind of to absorb metabolic products for seeds that have to stay in there for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are not only germinating orchids, right? You're germinating other stuff too.
No, just orchids.
Oh, just orchids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Although we have on occasion tried some weird things just for fun, but nothing to speak of.
Oh. And do you have other employees, or?
No, just my wife and I. We used to have 5 people working for us.
Oh, okay.
But COVID sort of killed all that, because they couldn't come and they had to get other jobs.
Yeah. So another question would be, why Paulsville?
Oh, just because that's where we live.
Okay.
So Phyllis used to work for the Suquamish tribe. And
okay.
So we moved over here 25 years ago or something like that.
Oh.
And I was an electrical engineer, and then I finally got sick and tired of it, and had been growing orchids for a long time. And
how many years?
Gosh, I don't know. I started in the 80s, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a long time, huh?
Yeah.
There's gonna be so many people excited to see this actually. Yeah.
So, well, let's go in the flask. Oh, well, here are your flasks.
Oh, okay.
Right here.
Yeah.
So those are from, what does he call himself?
Well, he calls himself William Green.
William Green.
Yeah, from YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been following him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My green pets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes. I was very excited to know that he sent it here. I'm like, oh, I know the place.
Yeah, that's funny. So this is the room where it's relatively clean in here and temperature controlled. And it's set up so that if there's not people walking around in here, the air is stratified, so it's quite cool down here and quite warm up top.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of have different temperature zones just based on shelf level.
Oh, interesting. So hotter ones on top,
right?
And cooler ones. Oh, okay. What's the top temperature?
Oh gosh, never over 90, but usually upper 80s, and then at nighttime down to 60s.
Okay.
And the lower shelf nighttime might be 50 or something.
Oh, interesting.
So the little jars are where we put the seeds, and we normally don't have any that show any germinating because as soon as they germinate, we move them. But you can see there's some dark stuff in there. Those are the tiny seeds inside there.
Huh. Wow.
I wish I did have something that's germinating, but
is this like a baby food jar?
Those are baby food jars, yeah. So when we first started out, I bought like a case of baby food, and I thought, well, I'm not going to let this go to waste, so I ate it, and I was so sick. Anyway, so I started going to daycare centers and getting them to give me the jars.
Oh wow, yeah. I actually kept a lot of baby jars.
So once they germinate, then we move them to a different medium because they tend to grow better on stuff that they don't germinate well on. Oh. So let's see if I can find one that's moved fairly well. So this isn't a lot of seeds, but see, we moved them in there and they started turning into plants.
Right.
Yeah. And let's see. I don't know if there's one in here that's.
Is it going through how old it is, or?
You mean direction-wise through the room? Well, yeah, in a sense, because they stay in this box until they're big enough to really grab as individuals. Then we move them to jars that have like 100. Let's see, like over here, we put like 150 plants in a jar like this, which gives them more room to grow than in the little jar.
Okay. So you literally, I was wondering about that reflasking means on the website. So you literally reflask to bigger jar.
Right. Yeah, so if they move from the baby foods to the boxes, from the boxes to these, and then usually from these to a final stage which has, depending on what it is, like this one has fairly recently been loaded, and those will get larger. Let's see if I even have any around here just so you can see what they turn into. I may not. We might have shipped them all out yesterday.
Right.
But then, when they get to this size, they're getting to be potting sized.
Oh yeah, it looks like. And what is this? Is it
That's a
Cattleya?
Yeah, Cattleya's.
Cattleya
Alliance.
Interesting.
Let's see if there's anything fun here. Oh.
Ooh, Angraecum here. Interesting.
Yeah. So what are these guys? Oh, okay. So these are fun. These are miniatures, Dresselarellas, and they don't look like much, but those are like blooming size probably.
Oh wow!
And they've got fuzzy leaves, and the flowers. I don't know. Can you tell that they're fuzzy?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, and the flowers are also fuzzy too. But they're
orchids too.
Oh yeah. There's nothing in here that isn't an orchid.
Wow. And who do you usually get as a client? What kind of people would send it to you?
There are people who send us the seed. Could be anybody. And a lot of them are hobby growers, and we pretty much only take seed of species that are clearly identified. Unless somebody wants to grow their own hybrid or something, we'll do that, but we don't sell them to anybody else. Because we're really, we're in it to grow the species to kind of compete with jungle collected plants.
Ah, okay.
So we get the, people who have the plants just already in captivity, they send us the seed. And sometimes botanists will send us seed from out of the country through an import permit, and we'll grow those. And then, so that way we can supply plants that we're growing here that's not affecting the habitat where they came from any.
Huh. Interesting. What would be a popular species? Or genre, genus, whatever.
It's hard to say. Well, so like people like these Mexipediums because they are pretty unusual. The habitat for them it's a secret in Mexico someplace, and they don't really tell anybody where they are because they don't want people to go in and take them all.
Right.
And as far as I know, only 2 plants were ever collected, and these are offsprings of offspring of offspring. And the parents of this one of the plants is actually makes a spike with flowers that keep making more and more, and sometimes it has two flowers at once, occasionally 3, which is kind of unusual for the species. But they're little flowers, and
those are like upcoming popular items.
Yeah, people like them because they've always been hard to get. And since we're kind of making a lot of them, people go, yeah, we need some of those. I don't know. Everybody has a different desire, and so some things, I mean, people really don't care too much about. But there's almost somebody for every market.
Look at that Boxinju. That's what I lost before.
Which one is that? Oh yeah, right. Okay. So
that's the blue one, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It looks like it's already growing really well.
Yeah, and that's actually that one that was just planted that I showed you earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the size that those were when they planted it.
This is all interesting. Any overseas?
We used to, but it's difficult because it's not an issue with CITES if you ship them in the flask. But when you ship them in the flask, they get damaged unless they're handled very carefully. But you still need phytosanitary certification. And to get it out here is fairly expensive.
Right,
And then so many of them were destroyed by the time they arrived that even though I haven't really said I'm officially not doing it anymore, I really discourage people from doing it. And I try to get people to get their friends who are traveling to, I'll ship them to them in the U.S. and then they can, depending on their country's rules, they can hand carry a certain number in.
Interesting. Oh, there's a humidifier here.
Oh yeah.
What's it's kind of funny because you would think humidifier wouldn't be necessary if it's in a flask.
Well, it's actually because of the heat pump. Because see, it's constantly taking the warm air from the car, trying to make sure that there's a temperature difference. And with the air going through it through a cooling coil, then that condenses. So it actually takes water out of the air. So we have to put it back to keep the humidity from dropping.
Oh wow, interesting. You have any visitors here for like a news or any media, mass media or anything like that? No, huh?
Some people come and visit just because they're curious.
Interesting. What's the fastest processed orchids?
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think what was the quickest thing.
Here's a Cattleya Rex here.
There was something that only took like 5 months from seed to potting size, and that's just totally unusual. Normally it's around a year, so I can't remember what the heck it was.
Oh, Cattleya Lobelia, that's what I was looking at earlier. 5 months, that is quick.
Yeah.
So this is a Cattleya Rex. Is it from William Green also?
It is, and it's one of, it's not necessarily the same one you're getting, because he sent a bunch of different crosses.
Right, yeah. So, from one seed pot, how many are in here? Or I should say, how many is in this jar?
That one's planted with about 30, it's planted with about 25 to make sure it yields 60. Okay. So, it could be up to 25.
And then when William Green sends you the seeds, how many jars did you?
We do it, people request the flask, and we don't make them until they're requested. And basically, he sent enough seed that we could probably make 1,000 flasks if people requested it. We wouldn't want to like fill the room with one thing, but nobody really ever requested 1,000 flasks. So. But yeah, there's so much seed in some of the capsules.
So about 1,000 flasks?
Or? Yeah, we could have. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We probably still could if somebody asked, but I hope don't ask.
Yeah, it is a lot of Rex. They're all Rex here.
Yeah, I see. And the reason is that people watch his channel and he talks about it.
Yeah. And
they find out, oh well, I can just order them. So we make them for people who have seen him.
Yeah. As I am one of them too. Stanhopea. What would be the most expensive ones here?
Well, we actually charge one price. So even if it's rare.
No, I mean like as far as market price. Like let's say Rex is pretty expensive.
It used to be, so we did a bunch of Phragmipedium cavaceae.
Oh, okay.
And that was really hot for a while. But there's enough of them out there. I'm not sure that the price is that high anymore. But it was, at some point it was like $500 a plant or something like that.
Yeah, I think one of his Rex went like $600.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on eBay.
Huh, wow.
But yeah. And then like he went on second one, and I believe that's $300 or something like that.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, it was. The Rex is hard to find too, so hopefully that many Rex will go out and
and then they'll
get popular.
As common as dirt.
So what is this? What is this for?
Oh, that's a little thing to keep it up out of that. We have a little bit of mineral oil there, and that just helps prevent pathogens from moving around. We go to great lengths to try and keep the room clean. There's one of those little robot vacuums that goes around all the time. There's air cleaners in here. There's actually an ozone generator that runs once a day. And it's just really important to try and prevent stuff from starting, because it's not like a super clean room. It does have a HEPA filter blowing air in, but we just walked in our street clothes. And we're just trying to be practical.
Okay. Wow. This is so interesting.
Yeah, so here's some of those Cattleya Rex, and they were planted in April 20th.
Yeah. So that's the one, I think it's a second batch that he made a seed pot and sent to, right?
Could be.
And there's a lot of Rex. Cattleya Sonia. That's pretty good size already. Thinking how big Sonia is.
Yeah. Yeah, the variability in the plants is amazing.
And how many are in here? Just about?
Oh gosh, that could be 1,000 plants or something.
Okay.
But we probably wouldn't end up taking them all out. We'd just use as many as needed.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Do you experience any contamination often, or?
Yeah, it does happen, and a lot of times it comes in on the seed. It's basically the hard step is getting them to germinate and also not having something else growing. And once you get it started, then pretty much it goes on smoothly. And then sometimes something happens in here later. It's probably not really in here. It's probably a spore while we were moving the plants around in the hood or something.
Interesting. Oh, thank you. This was so cool. So cool. All right.
Yeah, there's Ellen's flasks right there.
Nice. Yeah, I did the deflasking. Practiced with her too.
So you've seen those jars before?
Oh yeah. I did. Any special lighting, or is it just a regular?
This is the original 20-year-old fluorescent fixture. Anything we do now is LEDs, of course. But,
right. Yeah. So that
those are all LEDs.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, those used to be fluorescent too, and they weren't spaced so closely because we couldn't.
Okay.
But when we installed the LEDs, we redid the whole thing.
Huh.
3D printed a bunch of brackets and stuff to mount everything.
Okay. Wow, that's so interesting. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Sure.